John O'Donohue, and Emily, you read from his book last week, Beauty. His book, Beauty, is called Rediscovering Serenity, Compassion, and Hope Through the Gentle Embrace of Beauty. And he says this about humanity and the purpose and why we're here. He says, the ability to care for one another, to care for life, to care for this planet, is the hallmark of being human, the touchstone of morality. It's the importance of our goodness in life and the ground of holiness. Without the warmth of care, the world becomes a graveyard. There's no life. It's the care that shows life. And he said, in the kindness of care, the divine comes alive in us. Because compassion, Meister Eckhart said, we can call God love, we can call God goodness, but the most perfect name for God is compassion. And I think cultivating a compassionate heart starts with the understanding that it's not, compassion is just not, oh, I'm sorry you're suffering. That's separateness. It's not, oh, I feel for you. Compassion, in its grandest sense, is knowing that we're all in this together. I care about you because I want to make things better. I want to understand what you're going through and listen with an open heart because I care about you. It's about the interconnectedness of life. It's not about one person just looking, oh, I pity you, or it's my duty to care. It comes from a wellspring of love that's within us. That's the compassion we're talking about. That's why our hearts need to be open and available. When John O'Donohue mentioned that when we become and open our compassion, it's like the divine being alive in us. You know, one of my favorite things that I do a lot is talking about the soul within us having two faces. This is what Meister Eckhart says also. One looks down on the earth, on the world, on the body, and the five senses, and the other gazes up at the glory of God. It's the compassion in our heart that connects the two. That's how we bring true divine love to this world, is that open heart. But too much and too many of us have gotten hardened by life experiences, by not understanding, by not having the tools to work through things and let them go, make sense of things, again, understanding. And the barriers we built to having this open and soft heart are resentment, a lack of forgiveness, fear, unworthiness, anger. Well, we could go on and on. But those are the things we build up to protect ourselves when actually the thing that protects us most is opening and making sense of things. So if we're going to work through those barriers so we can get to a more loving and open heart, first of all, Rumi said, your task is not to seek for love or compassion. Your task is to seek and find all the barriers you've built against it. So my question is to you, we can feel that hardness, that protectiveness, the hurt, the upset. What are you willing to do to open up to something more? It means we have to, first of all, stop that inner critic. Do any of you have those? You're just not good enough. No, you can't. No, we have all the power within us that's expanding and evolving. We're always loved. The universe never plays any favorites. So we're all equally loved by Spirit. We don't have to worry about it, but we've got to, if you're not forgiving or holding on to resentments or anger, it's like a hook in your heart, and it bleeds out energy that can make you feel depleted, it can make you feel lethargic, it can just drain you from doing the creative things that Spirit wants you to do. So we have to release those hooks of what it is. I want you to think, that's why we're having our prayer wall today. I release the hook of anger. You don't have to say what it is, of the lack of forgiveness, of not understanding. I release the feeling of unworthiness or not enoughness or lack, whatever that is. We're going to release those today so we can open up to a more prosperous, a more abundant, a more loving, not just the end of the year, but moving on to the next. Our words and thoughts are either windows or walls. The windows are when we speak with compassion and listen with empathy. The walls are when we speak with criticism and listen with judgment. I'm not pointing at anybody. I'm just saying we got to be aware of where we are in that process. So I have a poem that I'd like to read to you. I read this so long ago, and it just popped into my purview again. It was written by James Patrick Kinney, a 20th century American poet. And it was written in the 1960s. And for any of you that remember the times back then, woo, there was a lot of upheaval. Ooh, there was a lot of switching and changing and pulling and defying and anger and politics and social arenas and cultural arenas and, around the world. It was just a tough time. And he knew the importance of coming together. He knew the pain and devastation that can be caused when we're so divided. The poem is called "The Cold Within." 6 human trapped by happenstance in bleak and bitter cold. Each one possessed a stick of wood, or so the story's told. Their dying fire in need of logs, the first man held his back. For of the faces around the fire, he noticed one was black. The next man looking across the way saw one not of his church and couldn't bring himself to give the fire his stick of birch. The third one sat in tattered clothes. He gave his coat a hitch. Why should his log be put to use to warm the idle rich? The rich man just sat back and thought of the wealth he had in store and how to keep what he had earned from the lazy, shiftless poor. The black man's face bespoke revenge as fire passed from sight, for all he saw in his stack of wood was a chance to spite the white. The last man of this forlorn group did not accept for gain, giving only to those who gave was how he played his game. Their logs held tight in death's still hand was proof of human sin. They did not die from cold without. They died from cold within. So, just a thought. Where are we holding on to that log that might, just like Madeline said, a smile, the start of peace, just a shared comment, an extended hand, a warm hug? Where are we holding back that we might help the fire of divine wisdom and light and understanding and interconnectedness and joy be kindled? The true compassion starts within our own heart. Joseph Campbell said, "The purpose of our journey is compassion. When you have compassed the pair of opposites, you have reached compassion." Well, the pair of opposites live up here, and compassion lives here. So that's why we're talking about clearing that passageway. The goal is to bring our jewel of life, which is our divine nature. That's our goodness and our love. To bring our jewel of our life back to the world and join the two things together. We need to cultivate the compassion within us. And it means doing something nice for yourself. I'm going to offer just a request of you this week. Do something nice for yourself. I did something nice for myself this week, and I'm still enjoying it. It was so sweet. There's something about me that most of you don't know. I love paper clips. I do. I just love paper clips. They are so purposeful. They hold things together. They work for you. They're not fussy or anything. They just work. They don't care if you put them in a box with pens or rubber bands or anything else. They're there. And they still hold their purpose, and they don't try to get in anybody else's business. They just do their work. So, I usually buy those little paper cardboard containers of paper clips. The paper clips hold their shape, but the box always ends up kind of tweaked and mangled, and then the paper clips fall out and you can't find them, and I'm always trying to search for paper clips. So I bought a little circular container with paper clips, and I want to tell you, they have little paper clips in one, but I love big paper clips. And they have big paper clips, and I'm so happy. And they also have the third compartment has a little clampy thing, so if you have something bigger, you have that. So every time I look at my paper clip, and I did this morning, I thought about bringing things together in simplicity and ease, and doing what I can do. Paperclip can't do everything, but it's not meant to. It has a certain job, and when it does that job, it makes life better. Just a thought, just a thought. So, here's Rumi, my buddy, says, and this is a thought, I love this. He says, well, he didn't say this, but compassion is an active, you said it's a verb. It's an action we do. It isn't just something we think or feel. It's something we have to take action on. And Rumi says, be a lamp, a lifeboat, a ladder. Help someone's soul heal. Walk out of your house like a shepherd, like a shepherd. And what that reminded me of is just a quote from the Bible, from Jesus, from the Stations of the Christ, Stations of the Cross, Matthew Fox said it different, but Stations of the Cross. And when Jesus was speaking in the I am presence, like the voice of God, he said, do it to the least, and you do it to me. And it wasn't a punishment, it wasn't a sad thing. He meant, we're all together in this. We're all together. When he said, do it to the least, you do it to me, it was like, love one another. Love your neighbor as yourself. He's saying we're all bound together, the you and I and me, all together. We're all bound together by God and good and love. We're in this beautiful process together. So I'm going to ask the ministers and practitioners to form a wall here, a little space in between. And as they come up, to just set that, the healing energy of God's love and goodness. And so come on up, and I'm going to invite each of you to form your line and come forward and just say what you are ready to release. And remember, my dear ministers and practitioners, this is a short little prayer. Our prayer wall closes. I allow each one of you, or honor each one of you, and just knowing that all prayers have been heard even before they're spoken. And just feel the peace and faith in knowing that God is right here with each and every one of us, doing its work in, through, and as us. And I'd like to close our service today, this part, with a Thanksgiving blessing. So just, if you'll close your eyes with me and allow that heart that has been free to just be in gratitude for all the blessings, the infinite blessings that surround us and fill us, the goodness that is available in this and every moment, to step up, to know that everything we've done in our life, we've done in the consciousness we had at the moment, and now is the time to open to something greater. That a heart filled with gratitude is a heart that attracts to itself the goodness of life, the understanding of life, and is allowing itself to be the presence of divine light and love in this world. And as we enter into this holiday season, whatever it is offering for each individual person here, whatever it is offering for us, we welcome it with gratitude and understanding that we are right where we should be right here and right now. That our heart of gratitude and love attracts friends and goodness to us in this moment. How blessed it is that we have the possibility to be a beacon of light in this world, that we can diminish the cold by being the warmth that we put our stick in that fire, because we want to shine the light of love and goodness, not just to ourselves, but to all of us in this human family, that we have a purpose here, and we feel it and know it right now. And as we claim that within ourselves, as we claim that bountiful love that is ours, it shines out into this world, and we make a difference. We make a difference by our being, by our words, by our actions, by our sharing, by our caring. We do it, we know it, we feel it. We just, in deepest gratitude, say thank you, God, for this beautiful wisdom, this beautiful love, this kindness that I share in this and every moment, this kindness that I receive. God is good, life is good, and so am I, and so it is.